Welcome to a special holiday edition of the B-Movie Den. Today is actually Halloween. It's been a couple months since I've done one of these. As you can tell, it's a new location, new haircut. I've lost about 30 pounds since the last time I've done one of these, and Wade has, well, he's lost a good portion of his body. Yeah, I had a little bit of a mishap, in moving the location. Finally back to be good in the den. Very much back to be good in the den indeed. Oh yes. Oh yes, very much good to be back in the den. You want to pick today? No? You can't even move your elbow. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh. Just the one, just the one. Alright. Well. Choice for this one is Sssssss with 7 S's, directed by Bernard Kowalski from 1973. This is a interesting 70s sci-fi horror, middle America kind of horror film. It takes place in rural America, where a herpetologist, not herpetologist, is, kind of experimenting with snakes, getting their venom and whatnot. And on top of that, his pride and joy is being taken away from him with this, and the college he works for doesn't want to give him more grant money. His students keep, disappearing on him, like halfway through the course. And, he just can't seem to get anybody to stick around. So he goes and to the head of the department, it's like, look, I need more students. They keep leaving. I need another one. It's like, obviously, the head of the department doesn't like him because, number one, he's more talented. Number two, he knows his shit way more than he does. Number three, he's sexier? I mean, if you like someone that's like 70 opposed to someone like 50, I mean, I'm not into men, but some of the viewers might be. I'm not against that. And anyways, he begrudgingly is like, I'll give you another student if you call me doctor. He's like, fine, fucker. Doctor, will you please find me some more students? He's like, yes, I will. Thank you. So he gets him, what's the kid's name? David. Gives him a new assistant to help him out with some of his experiments. And the first step with, handling a lot of these poisonous snakes like the king cobra and all that is that you have to be inoculated against them. Because, when you work around a lot of poisonous snakes, you have to be, what they do for inoculations and all this is they actually start treating you with antivenom. And with a lot of this, the way they do that is that they actually start inoculating you with the venom, with the actual venom of these snakes, so you build up a tolerance with them over the years. That way, if you get bitten by, like, a king cobra, or I don't know about the black mamba personally, but I know they do this with, like, king cobras and stuff like that. That way, if you get bitten by one while handling them, you won't die instantly. Now, in the movie itself, they have things like, oh, I've got enough, antivenom in my blood to take like 20 black mamba bites. It's like, I really don't think that's true. But I do know that there are people out there that handle snakes that have enough antivenom in their bloodstream to be able to handle that. Black mamba, I know, is highly dangerous. I don't know a lot about snakes, but I do know that black mamba has a very high toxicity to their venom. Anyways, I'm digressing. Sorry, let me push back my glasses and get back off the nerd train and go back into this. Let me go back to the movie. Anyways, so he starts inoculating him, and then like his daughter shows back up. It's like, oh, I just want you to know, I'm great to be back, and yada yada yada. So young David and the daughter start like hanging out and start dating and all that. It starts, the inoculations start going on, and he starts like his skin starts peeling, and it's like, oh no, what's going on? It's like, oh, you're watching the movie, you're like, oh no. Is he turning into a snake? Which, like, 10 minutes into the movie is the first thing you start thinking. It's like, maybe this is why his students keep disappearing. Because people are like, we haven't heard from these students. It's a horror movie. Of course, this is what's happening. So, there's, like, they run shows on the weekends where the king cobra they have is, like, this massive, like, 10-foot, 12-foot king cobra snake. And all the snakes on screen, other than a couple of close-ups that they have, are the real snakes. Not 100% sure about the black mamba that they have, but I looked into a little bit of the stuff. Almost all the snakes that they have on set are the real versions of them. So, which is awesome in its own right, but also like highly dangerous for a lot of these, because you have to have all the snake handlers on set, and having the actors work with a lot of them is also amazing. So, big props for that. So, that's just kind of, like, mind-blowing. So, you have, like, all this stuff going on with this, but it's pretty cut and dry. And for the most part, a lot of it's just, milking the snakes, which is what it's called when you get the venom from them, which is just pretty much, you have a plastic or cloth top of it. Most of the time it's plastic or rubber of some kind. You put the fangs into it, and they kind of massage their venom glands, or I don't know the technical term for them, and you milk the venom into the glass that they have, the tube, the beaker or whatnot, and that's how you collect the venom samples. And they use them for hundreds of purposes, thousands of purposes across the globe in scientific research and anti-venom, pain relievers, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, I'm digressing again. Sorry. It's like sidebar. I've studied a little bit about a ton of subjects. This was one of them in my childhood. Okay. As a movie, this was not the greatest movie. As a horror movie, again, not the greatest movie. Some of the twists and turns you can see coming a mile away. The acting was actually very, very good, especially when you see them working around a lot of the animals. You could tell that all the actors were just ready and raring to go to work with these animals. Some of them, most of them, the day players and the ones that were only on set for a day or two, they were just like, where do I put my feet? And, no. They looked like they were afraid to touch the fake snakes, let alone the real snakes. So it was interesting to watch the movie. It was fun, seeing a movie like that. But, I'm sure there's going to be any number of herpetologists out there, I might even be pronouncing it incorrectly, that are out there that end up watching this or be like, oh, he's not saying the correct terms properly, and I'll fully admit that I don't know all the terms, because this wasn't a field I researched past, like, the age of 10. I'm 35 now. Anyways, I'm digressing more. The version I watched is a DVD release from, oh, where's the date on this? Couldn't even tell you. But anyways, the DVD release of this is probably 15 years old. And I don't think it's been re-released since. I'd have to look that up. Might be a little note somewhere else in this video that Wade might put in there when he gets off his ass at some point and does that. But anyways, I had fun watching it. It was an interesting viewing. Not the world's greatest movie I've seen. Not the worst one I've seen. It has some very fun special effects for snakes, and the transformation scene at the end was horrible, to be perfectly honest. I won't spoil what happens with the transformation scene, but it was just dumb. I mean, I've seen worse, but I was like, ah. At least they didn't go with blue eyes again, but they could have. The Freak Show creature was cool. That was a better. I would love to have seen the transformation to that more than what they did for the end. So I won't spoil the complete ending to it, but it had a classic what the King Cobra's really only natural enemy is, which you can Google yourself and look up, which is very interesting when you look at it. But anyways, I will give this out of 5 snake bites. I will give it 3.5 out of 5 for the, I guess the heart of the movie itself. Not that, I'm not going to say originality. It is actually a fairly original kind of film. Especially from a movie from like 1973 where they have all these tons of different kinds of, Hammer, vampire, Dracula, Wolfman, all that stuff going on. And then the zombie movie starting to progress through everything and all that. So yeah, it was, I'd recommend it to you if you like these kind of films. But if you don't like snakes, unless you're trying to get over your fear of them, don't watch it, because there are snakes on every frame. But yeah, anyways, be sure to like, subscribe, share, recommend it to your friends. Be sure to comment below if you have any recommendations for future films. We will throw them in the hat. I'm constantly adding films to the hat and even taking some films out of the hat. That way it's not overflowing. That way there can also be, something different. Also, there's films that are being taken off Amazon Prime and Hulu and Tubi all the time. So there's some that are on there that I don't have on my wall of movies over here that I can't find. So, nothing's being torrented. Everything is either going to be on physical media or something I can find online through a paid service. So, put down your recommendations below. Like, share, subscribe.
Gary?